Hey guys, it's Celia, and today I'm going to be doing a video kind of talking about how I cleared my acne. I did a poll on Instagram between this and my experience with lash serum, and most of you voted for how I clear my acne, so I thought that I would give the people what they want, and here we are. So this isn't some big skincare routine with a bunch of expensive products or some life-changing cleanser or mask or something. This is really just what I figured out over the years, what works best for me after trying almost everything. So if you're interested on knowing how I got my skin to be a bit clearer, I would say a lot clearer, then just keep on watching. So I'm not wearing any makeup obviously because I want you guys to be able to see my skin and what we're working with here. I hope with the ring light you can still see for the most part, but I can show you before and after photos if I can find them. I think they're on my old computer, but I should be able to find one or two photos that shows how bad it was. So I think I really started to get acne a lot in, say, 7th grade. I'm trying to think back. I remember taking a photo of my skin back in my old room when I had bunk beds, and I'm trying to figure out when I got my room rearranged. So it might have even been before 7th grade. It might have been 5th or 6th, but it was somewhere around then when, you know, life sucks and you're not looking your best and you're going through puberty, and on top of that you've got a bunch of pimples. So that's pretty much when I started getting a lot of acne. I wouldn't say it was cystic acne, it was more so just a lot of whiteheads. And I've always, I think, had blackheads on my nose and T-zone, as a lot of people do, but really what I struggled with, I think, was a lot of whiteheads and pimples that you wanted to pop but you shouldn't, but I only sometimes had under the skin cystic acne. When I started getting acne, I obviously was really embarrassed and I was really self-conscious about it, so I went to the dermatologist and we put me on an antibiotic. And you know, that didn't really work, so he put me on another antibiotic, and it was just a continuous cycle of antibiotic, topical, and nothing really seemed to work. And eventually I was continuously trying these until I was in college, freshman year of college. I was still on antibiotics and I was always switching, and sometimes it would get better than others, but I really don't think it had anything to do with the antibiotics. And one day, my stomach started to hurt, and it lasted for about a week, and it really was painful to walk. It felt like I had a really big gas bubble in my stomach or something like appendicitis. So I told my doctor the pain that I was having, and she told me to come in right away, that it could be appendicitis. They wanted to see me, and it turns out that I had a stomach virus from all of the antibiotics that I had been taking for my acne, and it had built up over the years. How many years? 5, 6 years that I was taking these, and my body just couldn't take it anymore. So I could not take antibiotics for acne anymore. So that was cut out, even though I don't think it really ever worked, but that was not an option anymore because of the pain that it caused me. Secondly, all the topicals that they gave me never really seemed to work. Also, I'm not really good at keeping on a certain routine. I couldn't really keep up with putting it on every night. I'm just not the type of person, but we'll get to that later. So basically the topicals never worked. The antibiotics didn't work, plus I couldn't take them anymore, so it was kind of at a dead end. And it was either start taking Accutane or one other option, which is called Nicodan. I never thought my acne was bad enough for Accutane. I had one doctor who kind of made it seem like she thought that I could benefit from Accutane, and all the other doctors that I had said that it wasn't bad enough. But in my head, I didn't think it was bad enough to go through all you have to go through when you're on Accutane. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you've researched Accutane, you know what it's about, so I don't need to explain. But I didn't think that all of the side effects and all of the things that you have to do on Accutane were worth, or that my acne was bad enough for them. I thought that I could figure it out in a different way. So I chose the other option, which was Nicodan. And before we move on, I forgot to mention that I was put on birth control for my acne, and it was a very high estrogen or hormone birth control. And I was on that for years, I think maybe since junior, senior year of high school. And I have just been on it since, really, and I don't know if it helps or if it doesn't, but recently I just switched birth controls for my migraines, and I haven't really seen any difference in my skin. So honestly, that could go in with what's helped my skin, but it also could just be I've gotten older and I've figured out other ways to help my skin. So back to Nicodan. Nicodan is basically just a tablet that you take once per day, and it's a vitamin, so it's not an antibiotic, which is why I could take it. And I think there is only one dosage, so I just took one pill a day, and I will show you how big they are because they're huge. This is how big they are. Like, this is a big pill to take. So I had to cut them in half sometimes, but if you're not a pill person, you're really gonna have to cut this up. But this was really the first thing that helped me. This was the only major thing ever that I saw a difference in my skin from, and that was amazing. I started to feel more confident, and I felt like I didn't have to wear makeup when I went outside, or I wasn't always embarrassed about my skin and having pimples. This is really expensive. It's about, I think it was $80 I bought it when I started taking it, and now it's up to $100. That's with coupons, but insurance doesn't cover it, so it is pretty pricey, but it did work for me. And it's a vitamin, so it's not terrible for you, or it wasn't bad for my stomach. I would for sure ask your doctor about this if you are really out of options, but I have found great help with this, and I have been taking this until recently. So I actually ran out of this once, and I didn't take it for about a week, and I broke out horribly. I usually break out right here on my cheeks, honestly, like random places, but it's on my cheeks sometimes. That's where I still have a lot of scarring, is right here on my cheek, or just a lot of red marks. I broke out really bad when I stopped taking this for a week. So that's kind of how I knew it was helping, but that was also kind of scary because you don't want to be dependent on something for the rest of your life. You want to eventually figure out a way to help your acne without medicine. But it was good that it was a vitamin, so there is a give and take with that. I kind of wanted to try something else because I felt like although this really helped, I didn't see that my acne was fully gone. And so I heard about something called spironolactone. My friend told me about it, and she really liked it and said that it helped her a lot with her skin. So I asked my dermatologist about it, and I got prescribed it. I take 100 milligrams by mouth nightly, and this is the most incredible thing for my skin I've ever tried. I really feel like it's done the most, even more than Nicodan, which brings me to the point that I've stopped taking Nicodan and just kept taking spironolactone. Even though Nicodan's a vitamin, I didn't want to be on too many medicines because I just don't think that's great for you. I don't want to be taking too many pills. So I cut Nicodan out, and I really haven't seen a big difference at all. I really only break out when I am hormonal. I really, really like this, and I think that if you're struggling with acne, you should talk to your doctor about it. But yeah, it is called spironolactone, and I take 100 milligrams. As I said before, I haven't found just topical medication or something from Sephora that I really like, or one of those spinning brushes or anything. Really what I try to do every single night is I take my makeup off before I go to bed. I refuse to go to bed with any makeup on. I feel gross. I hate the feeling. It really clogs your pores. It's just not good. Do not do it. So I'll take my makeup off, and then I'll use micellar water, which is basically a really light toner. It takes everything else off. It's crazy what else is on your skin. It's kind of gross, but really satisfying when you see it getting everything else off that you would have just left. So I do that as well, and then I just wash my face in the shower with Clean and Clear, something from the drugstore. and this is what we're working with. Basically, I still break out. I have a little bit of a pimple right here, but it's nothing compared to what it used to be. I feel confident going out not wearing any makeup, just fresh faced, just like this. I have a little bit of redness and pigmentation and a little bit of scarring, but really not anything super bad. It's just the parts where I would continuously get breakouts, which is around my cheeks. I obviously said I still break out when I'm hormonal and stuff like that, and I have some congestion on my forehead, but it's really nothing I can't handle, and I feel really confident and a lot better about my skin than I used to. And I think that's really having to do with spironolactone, Nicodan, and really just taking my makeup off every single night. I feel like everyone has to go through that time where they try a bunch of different things. Trust me, I seriously tried everything because I literally did. My last choice was either Nicodan or Accutane, and I'm so happy that I went with Nicodan because I don't think that Accutane was worth it for me, but I definitely understand why people take it and that it helps a lot of people, but I just don't think it was the right choice for me. But that's basically it. If you guys have any miracle products or anything that's really helped you, make sure to comment it down below. Also, anything for scarring, I would love to know because obviously I still have a bit of that. But other than that, I'm super happy with my skin and where I am today compared to where I was a few years ago. So if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope that helped at least somebody. Obviously, make sure to talk to your dermatologist and what they think is best for you, but this is what's worked for me. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, if it helped you at all, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for weekly videos every Monday. I'll see you next week. Bye guys!